Can India sail in both RIC with quad boats, balancing US, China and Russia? There are unexpected friendly noises from India's otherwise hostile and mighty neighbor's house. And a gentle invitation to do an almost impossible trapeze: resuscitate the RIC Russia-India-China axis. Never mind, India is still in the quad with the US, Australia, and Japan. It started mid-July with Russian media quoting their Deputy Foreign Minister Andrei Rudenko as saying that Moscow expects the resumption of the RIC format and is deliberating on it with Beijing and New Delhi. This topic appears in our negotiations with both of them. We are interested in making this format work, because these three countries are important partners, besides being the founders of BRICS, Rudenko reportedly said. Russia's Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, is also eager to restart the RIC dialogue. I would like to confirm our genuine interest in the earliest resumption of the work within the format of the Troika: Russia, India, China, which was established many years ago on the initiative of Yevgeny Primakov, former Russian Prime Minister. Lavrov is quoted as saying. Beijing immediately seemed to warm up to the idea. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian said China-Russia-India cooperation not only serves the respective interests of the three countries but also helps uphold peace, security, stability, and progress in the region and the world. This sudden serenading has left India optimistic but circumspect. Should it hasten into RIC's embrace and upset its biggest trade partner and fellow democracy, America, or should it fritter away the opportunity to forge a powerful global alliance that mellows China's hostility towards it and hedges against America's hegemony and Trump's mercurial politics? India has wisely chosen to buy time, mull, and act in its own best interest. This consultative format is a mechanism where the three countries come and discuss global issues and regional issues of interest to them, India's External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randir Jaiswal said at his weekly media briefing. As to when this particular RIC format meeting is going to be held, it is something that will be worked out among the three countries in a mutually convenient manner. Meanwhile, a SWOT strength, weakness, opportunity, threat analysis of reactivating the RIC must undoubtedly be on in the Foreign Office. Let us first examine the potential weaknesses and threats. The obvious one is whether India can balance the Quad and RIC. It is immensely tricky because, notwithstanding public utterances, the central idea of the Quad is to contain China's influence in the Indian Ocean. By being part of RIC, India will risk the most acute conflict of interest in today's geopolitics. While Russia and China are keen to wean India away from the US, is India ready to spoil relations with America? The US is India's biggest trade partner. Also, ideologically and culturally, India fits more comfortably with a liberal democracy like the US than a communist dictatorship or a one-man rule. Besides, given China's track record of backstabbing and waiting for the right moment to strike, it is inadvisable to trust the dragon or take it at face value. And lastly, it seems unlikely that China will stop using Pakistan and its jihad factory as a strategic tool against India. It is also fattening the worst Islamist elements in Bangladesh with money and junkets, knowing fully well they will create trouble for India. Indian agencies believe Chinese money is widely used in manufacturing so-called dissent and internal security challenges for India. But there are considerable positives linked to RIC. If the three massive economies and militaries of China, India, and Russia come together, they can easily rival NATO. Recently, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte threatened India and China with sanctions if they continue to buy Russian oil, seeing no irony in the fact that the European Union bought $22 billion worth of Russian oil in a year and sent just $19 billion of aid to Ukraine. Even NATO member Turkey, by Rutte's logic, stands to be sanctioned. Also, the world's two most populous countries form a vast talent pool as well as massive domestic markets. RIC may work as a bulwark against US President Donald Trump's whimsical and disruptive policies like retaliatory tariffs and meddling uninvited in regional conflicts. The US also fears that BRICS, which has all three as its founding members, may challenge the dollar hegemony with its own currency. But ending the monopoly of the dollar may actually be good for a multipolar world. China, India, and Russia working more closely could be a massive regional stabilizing force in Asia, Middle East, and Africa. Swipe left for next video. Also, a India-China strategic alliance with common friend Russia in the middle may make China less bent on using Pakistan and other irritants against India. The positives might sound fanciful, but RIC is definitely worth giving a long thought. If India can convince the US and Europe that cooperation with its adversaries does not mean hostility and that its huge market and talent pool is available for mutual trade and growth, it can pull off the near impossible. Latest blogs.